Tonight on Warner Brothers Live. Warner Brothers preparing for a sale? What does that mean for DC Studios and Max? Joe Manganiello talks about not returning for Deathstroke, but also talks about a Deathstroke graphic novel. Dune Part 2 reviews are in, and shocker, incoming cinema. Avengers 5 definitely dropping Kang, and you know what? Honestly, who cares? Who cares? And Blade, well, that movie's just never coming out. All that and so much more tonight on Film Junkee Live. Seriously, at this point, it's like, who cares when it comes to Kang? He had his time, especially in Loki. And he got defeated by fucking Ant-Man.
Lights out! Now you want to get nuts? Come on! Let's get nuts.
What's happening, everyone? All right, where's the music? Sorry, there it is. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Film Junkee Live on your Wednesday, your hump day. Good to see you guys, of course. Oh, man. Sometimes I'm like, wait, is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday. It definitely is. So good to see you guys. How we doing? Where's the sub button? Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this, of course, later. Subscribe. There it is. That's what I'm looking for right there. Got lots to talk about tonight. Go through some tweets when it comes to talking about some things. And, of course, we're going to be talking about this new article that came out when it came to Warner Brothers and some of the things that Zazzy Pants is doing that, obviously we disagree with Zazzy Pants when it comes to certain things, but, there's some things that you might agree with them when it comes to certain things. At least, I don't know. We'll go over that article, of course, and then talk about, when it comes to DC Studios and, of course, Max. And then, we got Joe Manganiello. What the hell? Him doing his thing, and then, of course, Dune, and all the MCU stuff. And, there's not that many people out there in the chat right now, so we'll say hi to, I should probably hit that. We'll say hi to James right here. Wow, what a mess. They should start a GoFundMe. Yeah, they might need that right there. We got Zack P right here. You think they're going to sell to Paramount? So Zaslav is doing a Mitt Romney approach. Is he going to run for president in 2028? Hey, I wouldn't put it past him. Let's see. We got Mr. Jason right here. Mr. Fear Jason, good to see you, buddy. Eric, I personally think we've had enough studios buying each other a little while. It's always going to happen. It's all about competition and all that stuff, man. And we got Ryan right here. Good to see you, buddy. All right. And then we got Cortez. What's happening? Well, these movie studios aren't what they used to be. The times really are shifting. Yeah, the times, they are a-changing. I mean, it's true. You're not wrong about that. You're definitely not wrong about that. And, Mr. McKenzie, you're awesome, man. Thank you for helping out the pirate ship as per usual. Thank you for the super chat right there. You're awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. If I had something, I would raise my glass up to you. I'll raise one up for you on the Vodka stream for sure. But thank you. Much appreciated. Every little bit helps, of course. And thank you for that one. We got JD McRae right here. What's up, Dave? Hope your week's been good. It's been a week. Just trying to keep busy, that's for sure. Game City Savior, good to see ya. Max Wolf Night Danger, hey, Dave, what up? I'm doing good. We were this close to the new Batman Beyond anime. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that. But WB said no, and still can't believe Rachel Ziegler got the award. I know. Ziegler, yeah. I know. That action, yeah, she got the, if anybody wanted to remember, she got the... what was it for 2023? She got Best Action Star Award. And it's like, yeah, really? Now over Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves? Okay, something's a little there, but it's a People's Choice. What could he do? It is the People's Choice Award. So, anyways, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get to it. I forgot to pull up. All right, let's just scroll through some things here. We won't scroll through everything. Of course, but let's see. All right, let me get to a little point here. Man, baseball is almost starting. Cannot wait for that. Again, Mr. McKenzie, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that one. All right. Let's see, where are we going to start off here? I'm like going through the tweets. Okay, we're going to start off right here. We're going to start off, I'm going to go in order and scroll kind of up right now, but the Beatles. Apparently, the reason why we really haven't gotten a good Beatles biopic is because there's been some kind of like rights issue. Obviously, it's the Beatles. The Beatles are huge. You know, let's face it. Even John Lennon said they're bigger than Jesus at one point. But yeah, when it came to the Beatles, you know, it was kind of interesting that we haven't really got like a really definitive like biopic. But apparently they're going to be doing, well, a Beatles cinematic universe. That's right. I'm sure some of you guys saw this right here. 4 separate biopic films are in the works about each member of the Beatles to all release in theaters 2027. Sam Mendes will direct each film, which will be intersected stories, one from each band member's point of view. Wow, what the fuck? Huh? Okay. That's cool. That's different. 4 films from John, Paul, George, and Ringo. They're different perspectives, all released in the same year. Wow. Okay, if you're going to do a Beatles biopic, that's the way to do it, and that's really different. And I guess they're going to start, you know, they got to start now. I mean, we're in 2024. That's 3 years to make 4 films. That's pretty amazing right there. Sam Mendes, obviously, you know, did James Bond, and I forgot what else he's done, to be honest. It's like off the top of my head, I can't remember. But that's a very unique way to do it with the different perspectives. And then we see the I just wonder how they're going to space. How are they going to space the movies? Are they going to do one in each quarter? Like we're going to have one in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter kind of thing of the year? That is pretty interesting right there. I like it, though. I like that. I like that a lot, to be honest. It's something different. It's something unique, and why not? And good on Sam Mendes for doing that. Now, I'm sure we're probably going to hear about the casting of the 4 next. But, yeah, way to do that. That's pretty interesting and different. I like that. So, yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay. That's okay. Oof. And then, yes, guys, I will not be watching this movie. Your biggest fear just got bigger. Nope. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to watch this movie Sting, which is, you know, obviously there's a big spider right there. No way I'm watching that. And speaking of big things, I mean, obviously we're going to be talking about the reviews of Dune Part 2. But, man, it's just kind of funny how, I mean, Joey right here, of course, made the joke about the popcorn bucket, and that's what it looks like. It's a big, huge popcorn bucket right behind them. I thought that was pretty funny right there. That's something from, some Forbes magazine right here. And now we're going to talk about some Superman Legacy, because we're all anxiously here. You know, when it comes to Superman Legacy, we were all kind of going like, oh, that table read that's supposed to be happening in Atlanta. Are we going to get something from that? Are we going to get some more information? Well, apparently we're getting that. And of course, somebody actually, how do these people do it? I don't know how they do it, but apparently somebody spotted Nicholas Hoult at the airport arriving in Atlanta. So here's the video right here. Just right there, just walking. Yep, up. What's going on with that hair? Has he already shaved his head and it's already growing back? But apparently, yes, that was Nicholas Hoult right there. What? And then even James Gunn, when somebody asked him on Threads that is Nicholas Hoult, has he shaved his head? James Gunn, of course, answered yes, he has shaved his head. So there's your Superman Legacy update. That's pretty much it. Well, there's one other thing that we'll talk about, of course, when it comes to Superman Legacy. But, you know, one thing when it comes to a shooting location, I should say. But, you know, at least there, you know, I just don't know how somebody actually spotted that. I mean, it's these I guess it's the paparazzi that did that. It's like, how did you know that you were just waiting at the Atlanta airport and seeing if these actors just show up? It's pretty kind of it's kind of crazy. Some of the lengths and the waiting they have to do. It's like a stakeout, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's Nicholas Hoult right there with a freshly shaven head. I guess his hair's just growing back. So Oh, man. And then we got this video right here. All right. Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell was at, I'm not sure exactly where he was at, which I apologize for, but this is on someone's TikTok. Star-Lord Ziggy posted this right here. But Stephen Amell, he's been asked about the DCU before at other conventions, and he's expressed that he would actually join the DCU if he were asked to join, you know, James Gunn and all that stuff. But he had a little bit of a different tone this time around when it comes to somebody like asking him about joining the DCU or what his thoughts are on the DCU. A little bit of a different tone, a little bit of, dare I say, sour grapes? Maybe, I don't know. But here's what he had to say right here.
I see a lot of announcements from about DC and about the DC extended universe and about what they're going to do with the movies. You know what I would prefer? Content. Like, I don't think anyone has ever gone to an IMAX to watch a press conference or to like read Twitter. It's like, great, awesome. I'm glad you guys have all of these plans. Shut up and go execute them.
Yeah, Steven, that's kind of what they're doing right now. Am I wrong about that? I mean, that is what they're doing. He's not wrong. It's like, yeah, announce it and then do it. And it's kind of what's happening right now. And it's funny, too, because when I posted that, I had a lot of people going like, he's not wrong. I said, yeah, he's not wrong, but that's what they're doing right now. But, you know, I did make the joke. I'm like, someone got turned down for a role, and I was like, geez, did he have like a meeting with somebody and it didn't go well? And not to mention Stephen Amell, you know, during the strikes, let's face it, he became disliked, if you remember that, because he kind of just pushed against all the strikes that were happening to the point where he didn't even show up to picket with the cast of Arrow. He showed up to the New York one and they were at the LA one. That was pretty funny when that all happened. Seems like, you know, when it comes to Stephen Amell, some people just don't like him. But yeah, okay, understandable. Okay, they announce things, which happens all the time. There's a lot of announcements. Yes, I get it. The fanboy inside me, and of course, doing this, I'm all like, oh yeah, feed me something, perfectly fine. But there really was just like one big announcement when it came to the DCU, and now they're executing it. Now they're trying to get all those pieces in, you know, because it takes time. You know, obviously a lot of people would want some instant gratification. You just announce something, and then all of a sudden it's there. Maybe AI is going to create something like that. I don't know. But maybe he's also, I mean, he did say DC Extended Universe, so maybe he's just seen all the stuff in the past and it never came to fruition, which, you know, disappointed some of us, a lot of us. But yeah, it was just kind of funny, though. I was like, okay, Steven, we get it. There's an announcement. I mean, how many of the announcements have there been when it comes to at least like videos? I mean, there's just been that one major announcement that happened over a year ago. And then now we're about to go in production. So it's just kind of how the way things work, I guess. So anyways, and then this is what I was talking about right here. When it came to Superman Legacy, they're going to be filming in Cleveland, Ohio, the birthplace of Superman. Wait a minute, I thought he was born on Krypton. Zing! Superman Legacy. Apparently there's going to be like an $11 million like tax thing that they get. They're going to be able to do that. Part of the agreement was there's going to be like a tax break or something when it comes to them shooting in Ohio. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So yeah, so that was something that was revealed. Like, oh, okay, Superman Legacy is going to be shot where, you know, obviously where Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster went to high school. So that's pretty sweet. Ugh. All right, I got to show my face right here before we talk about this, because this is what everybody was talking about, man. It's just like, I almost want to, you almost want to just, you know, if I had a pencil, I'd break it, because, Batman Beyond. Why has there not been a Batman Beyond movie yet? Remember a while back? There was a while back. It was over 5 years ago because I was not living in my current place that I live right now. But over 5 years ago, there was a rumor that after Into the Spider-Verse came out, Warner Brothers had the idea, and I think this was actually it was like a Hamada type of idea, that they wanted to do a similar type of movie as Into the Spider-Verse with Batman Beyond. I forgot, there was like scoopers talking about it. I think there might have been even some art back then, but there was something that they were going to do an animated Batman Beyond, and maybe it would incorporate different versions, of course, just like Into the Spider-Verse. They would incorporate that into Batman Beyond and have different versions of Batman within the movie. And then we heard about when they got Michael Keaton back, and I kept hearing too that part of the agreement of getting Michael Keaton back for The Flash, they were going to do a Batman Beyond movie with him as Bruce Wayne, which that seems like the idea they should have done in the first fucking place. They should have done that first. Just had it, I don't know. Just to me, as much as I enjoyed The Flash, I still think that they should have just went the route of just bringing Michael Keaton back to do a Batman Beyond type of movie. And then there was like a rumor that Batgirl was going to be kind of like that movie, where he was like, he was just passing it down to her instead of, there was all kinds of stuff. And then, when it comes to, Mr. Denis Villeneuve, which I always say his name wrong, you guys know, obviously the Dune director and Blade Runner and all that stuff. When he made Blade Runner, I remember I made a video of like, he should do a Batman Beyond. If he was going to come into the superhero world, have him do a Batman Beyond type. But apparently there was a pitch that happened like 6 months ago or something like that for an animated Batman Beyond movie. And here's some of the concept art right here. It says right here, concept art from a pitched Batman Beyond animated movie by director Patrick Harpin and P.D. Yuki Demers. They crossed the Spider-Verse, so they know what they're doing. Before we pitched, they warned us there is absolutely no way we can do a Batman Beyond movie. But they loved our enthusiasm. We pitched the outline for the entire film, and what started as a never turned into a maybe. Look at these beautiful drawings right here. Oh my God. Oh, look at that. Look at that with the title. Oh my God. Everything right there. And then that shot right there. Ha! Come on. But it said maybe. They said maybe? There's a maybe there. That's the thing. Fingers, toes, eyes, balls crossed, that maybe turns into something. But right now, it's just, we're going to be talking about it. Right now, it just seems like Warner Brothers Discovery, DC Studios, yeah, they're pinching every penny. They don't have the money to kind of like fund something like that. Even though it's an animated film and it could be cheaper, it's still going to cost money. But maybe after everybody it trended, it did all that stuff, maybe that'll help get it out there. I don't know. Greenlight Batman Beyond, hashtag. Maybe we should start that one right there. But, would have been so beautiful and so awesome, man. Jeez. But, we'll see. And then there's this. Who wants to see Zack Snyder's Justice League in IMAX? Well, I already did, but, I would gladly see it again. But if it's the Justice is Gray version, well, sign me the fuck up. And then get that on a Blu-ray as well. Sign me the fuck up. Well, I don't know if take this with a grain of salt. Who knows what the source is. But I'm sure you guys saw this floating around yesterday. Physical media president. Warner Brothers is considering IMAX and Justice is Gray for Zack Snyder's Justice League on physical media. By the way, that's an awesome poster right there. That is a very awesome poster. I like that poster. I don't think I've seen that poster before, but I really like that. I really like that. Huh? What? Source? Anything? What the hell? See, that's the thing. It's like, you see that, and you just kind of go like, well, where's this information coming from? You're just going to tweet something like that, and obviously that tweet's going to be, you're making the rounds. It's at 250,000 views that it's been seen, and everybody in the Snyder community is like, yeah. So then I was thinking, I was like, okay, could they actually do that? And some people were like, they're desperate for money. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that could be part of it. But at the same time, if they release it in IMAX, it's going to be limited. It's not going to be like worldwide or something like that, because that costs a bunch of money to do that. But the physical media part, well, that's kind of cool. It's like, yeah, releasing it. Who knows? I mean, this could very much just be BS. I don't know. I would like it to be true because I would love to see it again in IMAX and specifically see the gray version. I would definitely, like, if there were screenings, I'd see it twice. So maybe it's going to happen. I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. But that was floating around yesterday. Oh, man. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And I can imagine this for sure. I know, it should be like an Elseworlds. Hello, Ace. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you guys feeling about that possibility right there? Huh? How you guys feeling? Yeah. Oh, there's Fabian, my favorite person, Fabian. James Gunn shouldn't run Elseworlds. I don't think, well, nobody's running Elseworlds. I think Elseworlds is just there for just a couple of things, and that's it. The animation will have legs. Yeah, probably will. Will they only release it in place with a lot of Snyder fans? I don't know. They probably would just release, if they were to release that in IMAX, it would only get released in like the big markets. It'd probably just get released in like New York and LA. It wouldn't be all over the place. Like, again, it would just be in certain markets. So, hey, Miss Jackson, sorry. I just saw you right there. Good to see you. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I know, I want that Batman Beyond movie as well. But, you know, like, I don't know. I don't care which version. I mean, obviously, it seems like the whole, like, the Keaton live action, that ain't happening anymore. And I'm just like, okay, can we do the animated one? Hey, you could do an animated one voiced, have Keaton voice Bruce Wayne. How about that? That'd be pretty sweet. Let's change that. Cancel James Gunn and Matt Reeves stuff. Wow, Fourth just wants everything canceled. He's a cancel guy. All right, that's whatever. No, I don't want them to cancel anybody's stuff. No, we've done that before, and that doesn't work either. Jurassic World. Well, thank God. Because if you guys remember, when it comes to this fourth Jurassic World movie, seventh Jurassic Park movie, that they were looking at and meeting with David Leitch, and we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. I was going, you know what, David Leitch, he's a big action, over-the-top action director. I'm not sure if he's going to fit when it comes to a Jurassic World. And sure enough, those talks went flat because of creative differences. But now, apparently, they got somebody really good. And you guys have all saw this right here, right? Gareth Edwards, baby. That's right. Gareth Edwards apparently has been brought on to direct the new Jurassic World movie. Good job. Good job with this one. That's what I'm talking about. Monsters? Watch that movie if you haven't seen it yet, and go to the behind the scenes and watch interviews with him and how he created some of that. Of course, Godzilla 2014, which when it comes to the new movies, when it comes to Godzilla and all that, that's the best one in my opinion. I think that's the best one. And then of course you have The Creator that came out last year, which was phenomenal when it came to the core of the story and the VFX. I mean, yeah, there's some things about the script that might have been like, okay, could have cut some things here. But at the same time, Jesus Christ, this is perfect right here. And a lot of people were expressing that. When this information came out there, a lot of people were going, yes, this is the guy. This is definitely the guy when it comes to this. David Leitch, nothing against him. I want him to make Bullet Train 2, but Gareth Edwards, this is the guy right here. And with David Coep writing the script, I think this could be a match made in heaven. So thank God for that. Oh, man, I was like, okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here that I wanted to talk about. And pretty much everything that's when it comes to the topics. Apparently, there's like a new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer that's been rated. It's in the runtime is 1 minute and 34 seconds. That doesn't. To me, that just sounds like a shorter version of the other trailer. So, oh yeah, there's this, And it's kind of funny. Well, this sucks. It sucks in a certain way because one of my most anticipated movies that was on my top 10 list was Ballerina, the spin-off for John Wick with starring Ana de Armas. That was supposed to be coming out this year. We didn't have an actual release date, but I was like, okay, it's coming out. I'm looking forward to seeing where they take the franchise because I love the John Wick franchise. But now it's not coming out till next year. What? But we got a Crow movie, and it's funny because I just watched The Crow. What was it, last weekend? Yeah, last weekend. I just watched The Crow, the Brandon Lee version, the first one, of course. And I love that movie so much. The tone of that movie is just absolutely spectacular. And I know it's very 90s, but still, it just really worked. You know, what Proyas, whatever his name is, really did with that movie, you know, this is something special. But when it comes to the new one, I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie. But yes, Ballerina dances into summer of 2025 as The Crow swoops into John Wick's June 2024 release date. You know, remember, this has got, what, Bill Skarsgård? I always get those people, all the brothers mixed up and whatnot. But yeah, some people, you know, it's kind of funny. When I posted that, I had people in my mentions go, Jesus Christ, I forgot about the Crow remake. You know, yeah, it's still a thing. Apparently, they just shot it, and I think they've already, it's all been completed. It's all ready to go. I'm curious for that first trailer, but I don't know. Like, to me, again, I'm just like, when it comes to a remake of that beautiful movie that was made with Brandon Lee and the tone of all that, I just really hope that they could really capture something like that again. I worry about it, but I'm curious. I'm curious. And then, hey, some directors got together and bought the WestWood Village Theater. That's right. So apparently they were going to be like selling off this stuff, and especially with everything that's happening in Hollywood right now. But yes, 35 filmmakers came together to save and buy the WestWood Village Theater. And obviously there's a group shot right here of everybody, which is cool. Good to see everybody like right there. And then, you know, obviously Steven Spielberg right in the middle. Hey, look at that guy back there. And then Todd Phillips is even there. Christopher Nolan's there too. Look at that. But yeah. We got some people. We got some Seth Rogen, Chloe Zhao, J.J. Abrams, Damon Chazelle. Guillermo was also, Christopher McQuarrie, Ryan Coogler was part of it, James Gunn, of course. And then, yes, here's a description right here when it comes to saving this movie theater. The theater will showcase many artifacts from directors' personal collections, including props and film prints. Cinema has always been the place where filmmakers and moviegoers meet, and I'm thrilled to be collaborating with so many of my favorite directors on a space that will show what the future of film exhibition can be. That was Christopher Nolan's quote right there. You love to see that. You love to see that. They all love film, and they all came together to make sure that that it wasn't going to go anywhere. And then they're going to put props and artifacts and all this stuff. I can't wait. I'm gonna definitely visit this spot when it's all said and done. So that's cool. Gotta love that. All right, how are we feeling about this? Because obviously I love it when, especially nowadays, when we have concept artists. Yes, they could utilize AI as tools that create some of these concepts, but it is kind of cool to see like people like designing costumes. Like on Monday, I talked about the Superman Legacy costumes and how somebody actually really just made a cool little version of the Flesher type of Superman costume, which is cool. But this came across my feed, and they go by the name of Jackson Der Fan Concept, made a DCU Batman concept that kind of brings a lot of the other bat suits and kind of puts it all into one. And this is what it looks like. Whoa! I really dig this. And it's got the white eyes too. Now, obviously, there's no person in the costume, but I just thought this looked really sleek and really cool. I like the big utility belt with the big pouches. I like the big bat going. It's like 3D like, and it goes into the crease of the freaking bat cleavage right there. It's gray. It's black. The mask, you know, the cowl looks kind of Keaton-esque cowl with a little bit of Bale cowl in there. I was like, okay, all right. not too shabby. Not too shabby. So I actually really like this concept. God knows what it's going to be like, but I really dug it. I really dug it. And then finally, guys, before we start jumping into things, how are we feeling about the... Okay, let me turn that down. Oh, I was like wondering what that noise was. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Lisa. You're awesome. Thank you for gifting some things out there right there. Appreciate that. So we got some new members. And then, of course, you know, if you guys want to be part of the members, we'll do a members-only stream right after this. So thank you, Lisa, for doing that. And then welcome new members who got them. Let's see. We got Eric. We got Daniel. We got Marcus. We got Gilmore. And we got Jimmy. So thank you, Lisa. You're awesome. You are awesome. High five to you. Really appreciate that. But how are we feeling about Borderlands here? Okay, so we got the new trailer. That just came out right here. I'm not going to do a reaction. I already watched it. Watched it and took it in. And I asked people on Twitter, like, how are they feeling about this? Now, I've never played Borderlands. I've never played the game. And I heard that there's some production troubles when it came to this movie. They started shooting this movie in 2021. That's right. I mean, obviously the pandemic had something to do with it, but they started shooting this thing a while ago. Now, watching this right here, holy shit, does it give me Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. Wow, does it give me Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. I mean, you got the needle drop, you got the group, you got everything like that. It just gives me Guardians vibes big time. Just big time Guardians vibes. And thank you. We got some more. Lisa, you're on a roll right now. Jays, give us 5 more. And welcome Bats, Bat Dog, Agaru 16 Shape. Thank you for gifting those out. And then Johnny Dome right there. Johnny Dome Studios. Much appreciated, Lisa. You are awesome. I appreciate that. So watching this, I'm like, all right, the cast seems fine. I love Cate Blanchett. I've always had a crush on Cate Blanchett. She ages like a fine wine, in my opinion. Same with Jamie Lee Curtis. She's part of this too. Kevin Hart, I'm kind of sick of. There was Bobby Lee. I like Bobby Lee. But and then, of course, it has the girl who was in Barbie. Her right there. I can't remember her name. And then Jack Black is voicing that little robot right there. So... when it comes to this trailer, like I said, it just gave me like big time Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. But, you know, I'm going to read some of the comments that I had underneath this right here when it came to Twitter. RJ says, looks like Borderlands, cringy humor and all. LOL? Lol. It'll probably be good in August since it's typically a month of more experimental, risky blockbusters. That's pretty cool. Mr. Ben Everett said, they understood the assignment. I'm definitely watching this. It gives me the Dungeons & Dragons vibe. It's going to be good, but probably not many will watch it. Yeah, I mean, it could be that. Dungeons & Dragons was great. Brandon talks movies. It looks better than I expected. It does have the Guardians James Gunn feel to it. Yes. I'm more curious about it now. Claytalian says it's a bastardization of the game with a cast who are all way too old or too short, Kevin Hart, to be playing their characters. All right, so that was not a stellar review. Mr. Mask of Shy says, why are the girls so old? Don't say that. You're canceled. Were they trying to do something like Hook? Maybe. Mr. Jason McKenzie said, as a huge fan of the games, playing Borderlands 3 on PC at the moment, it doesn't look as gritty as I would have hoped and sounds a little too lighthearted and jokey. And apart from Jamie Lee Curtis, I'm not totally sold on casting. Alec Azoo said they understood the essence of the game. I think it will be a fun movie. Red Rum said, not hyped after the trailer, but who knows? Jake said, Jack Black convinced me there at the end. Andrew Nathan said, very on brand to what the game is. I like the trailer. I see the comparisons to James Gunn's movies, but the game style predates that, but I understand the comparison. So yeah, so a lot of people were getting the Guardians vibes like I was getting. I mean, I immediately was like, yeah, this feels just like a Guardians movie, but I'll give it a shot. Let's see what it's like. It's coming out in August. So yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I dig it. I'll give it some vibes right here. How are we feeling about this, huh? Kevin Hart is boring. Yeah, but you like Kate too, Lisa. There you go. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis in there. Nope, not Jamie Lee Curtis. Why are they so old? RJ is everywhere. Olderlands. Wait, Guardians started action. No. It just gave me those vibes. I mean, the needle drop and everything like that. Azteca. So that's all. They were trying to do something like Cocoon. So is the movie Borderlands 4 essentially? Maybe it's something like that. Guardians didn't do it first. Okay, I get that, but it was giving me the vibes. I get that you probably hate those movies and probably blame them for ruining cinema, Azteca. I'm just saying. That's the vibes that it got from the trailer, all right? Good Lord. I'm still watching Jason. Okay, hey, Enosh is here. Mr. Poindexter, what is going on, sir? It doesn't matter what RJ says. Kang, yeah. Some of the characters are severely miscast. Okay. So there you go. See, like, again, I can't really say much because I'm not, I didn't really play the game. So I don't have, I don't have input. I don't have that much input. All right, let's get to the main topic at hand here. Zaslav putting that for sale sign on the Warner Brothers water tower. Wouldn't be the first time, right? But yes, apparently, we got a new article right here that we're going to be diving into when it comes to Warner Brothers and what is happening with, certain things when it comes to budgets specifically, and just talking about, how Warner Brothers. Okay, so obviously when it comes to Zazzy Pants, Mr. David Zaslav, none of us have agreed with everything that he's done when it comes to the company. And, some of the stuff, like when it comes to Warner Brothers and how badly the old regime fucked things up, and even regimes before that fucked things up, and the whole AT&T thing, thought that was going to be good. It just seemed like anytime that somebody new came along, it's like, are you going to make it better? Are you going to make it better? And then of course we had high hopes for, of course, Zazzy Pants, but then decisions here and there didn't sound right, but then certain decisions did sound, okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. And then it was kind of going like, all right, is he flipping Warner Brothers? Maybe that's what he's doing. Is Zaslav flipping Warner Brothers? It's like, all right, let's try to do some things and get some people in here and get some things started like DC Studios, get the, HBO Max, turn it to Max, do all this and try to make this thing a little shiny so then we can actually do something here. And that might be what he's doing. Is it going to work? Who knows? Time will tell. But this is the article right here. Warner Brothers spends big. Joker 2 budget hits $200 million. Lady Gaga's $12 million payday. What the fuck? Courting Tom Cruise's new deal and more. Lady Gaga, $12 million. Holy shit. And then, yes, what was the first Joker movie was like 80 million, 60 million? I think it was 60 million. Remember, Toby Emmerich was like, we don't want this movie to exist, so we're going to give you a small budget. And Todd Phillips said, fuck you, I'm going to use every little bit of that budget and make a movie that's going to blow the box office roof off the head. And then, of course, Joaquin Phoenix and all this stuff is going to get nominated for Academy Awards. And yes, fuck you, Toby Emmerich. That's pretty much what Todd Phillips did. But damn, did he get a $200 million budget for this one. Jesus Christ. In January, Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group chiefs Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi jetted to London to connect with the new crown jewel of the studio, Tom Cruise. The three met to identify a film that would kick off their non-exclusive strategic partnership. Sources say a raft of possibilities were discussed, including an Edge of Tomorrow follow-up and Quentin Tarantino's The Movie Critic, which currently isn't set up with a distributor and has Warner Brothers, like every major studio, salivating. So they might be getting Quentin Tarantino's last movie as well. That would be another big-ass W for Warner Brothers. At 61, Cruise remains the king of studio tentpoles, a roost solidified by, of course, Top Gun Maverick, which took in $1.5 billion. But Cruise wants more than action stardom. He'd like to return to working with auteurs like Paul Thomas Anderson. In fact, he hasn't earned an Oscar nomination for acting since he appeared in Anderson's 1999 drama Magnolia. Earlier in his career, he talked about all that and blah, 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 blah. In Tarantino, Cruise could find a rare auteur who marries box office performance and awards season heat. However, securing the project won't come cheap. The biggest roadblock for DeLuca and Abdi is potentially Sony. Sources say Sony Pictures chairman and CEO Tom Rothman has the edge, having distributed Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Still, Cruise Tarantino alliance at Warner's would align with the DeLuca, Abdi, modus operandi, whatever that term is, lure A-list directors who can attract some bona fide stars, and spend wildly. Since taking over the studio in July of 2022, DeLuca and Abdi have struck some pricey deals. There's Anderson's next movie, which is featuring, of course, Leonardo DiCaprio, and then, of course, we've got Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan's vampire film that, of course, they're going to be, doing all that. And, there's more right here, too. But then we got a quote right here. This is the big one right here. This is what we're talking about when it comes to Warner Brothers and preparing for a sale. Here's the quote. The strategy at Warner Brothers right now, and the reason they made some of these big star deals, is they're basically playing with other people's money. This is an insider. They're shopping for Quentin or Cruise with the notion they can use it as a shiny object that is going to be an additive when Zaslav sells the company. There it is. There it is. Zazzy Pants is trying to flip this. Oh yeah, he's redoing the kitchen. He's redoing the bathrooms. He's adding some like tile flooring. He's ripping out the carpet. He's tearing down that wall right there. He's putting in a bar. He's putting in a pool. He's trying to make this thing look fancy, so then somebody else will kind of buy it up or merge, I guess you could say. That's what he's doing. Don't blame him. And to be honest, if they were to get Tarantino, wow, that would be good. That would be another just great win for Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, how does this affect some of the other stuff like DC Studios and Max? Well, when it comes to DC Studios, I don't think it affects it at all, because that's also part of the making it shiny, making it look better, making it look like it's something that somebody would want to buy, because you actually have a DC Studios now. You have an actual plan. You have James Gunn, who's known, and even though maybe he's not fully liked in the business, who knows? Maybe he is now, but maybe at one point he wasn't. He's now creating something that is actually maybe can be profitable, so I don't think they would want to fuck with that. So if anybody would come in like Universal or somebody like that, why would they want to destroy that's already being prepared and already being out there, and there's a social media hype to it and whatever the hell. So sorry for the people who think that if it does get sold, that they would just destroy everything that James Gunn is doing. I don't think that they would actually do that. It would be kind of a bad business decision, in my opinion. But then again, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they don't like it. If like Universal or somebody else would come in. Hey, even if Disney were to do it. But then again, Disney might like James Gunn. Can you imagine if Disney came in and started taking some of this stuff? Wouldn't put it past them. But yeah, they start doing that. I mean, God knows. Who knows? But that's part. I think DC Studios is going to be fine, and whatever happens just happens, because it's like, again, they're just like going, all right, well, obviously when it comes to DC properties, maybe they just want to keep that where it is, because that's going to be the profitable stuff, sure. And then when it comes to Max, now Max is a different story, because Max might turn into something, I don't know. I'm probably going to talk about more of this when it comes to the members only stream, because of things that I might have heard. But the thing that Max has going for it is that Turner Classic and that just the library that it has. I love Max. When it comes to all the streaming services, if I had to choose one, I would choose Max as my streaming service. But the fact of the matter is, who's the big cheese? It's always going to be Netflix. Netflix is still the big cheese. So what if like maybe like something, they get a deal with Netflix where Netflix gets their greedy little hands on that Max Turner Classic library and they just put it in there. That could be something too. So just basically the sales and whatever. And, when it comes to players out there that are like looking to just get Warner Brothers, I mean, you know what? I mean, this is where I'm going like, all right, Zazzy Pants kind of did something good right here because they're trying to get all this talent and still spending a bunch of money, of course, to just try to make, he's flipping the house, make the house look better than it was when he got it. I guess that's what he came on for. His days are limited. He's not going to be there forever. So why not just try to flip it? And that's what it sounds like he's doing. But who knows? But Jesus Christ, $12 million for Lady Gaga, $200 million joke. I'm just wondering, is the Joker is it gonna still have that buzz? I mean, it might. I mean, they might, but yeah, $200 million for Joker 2. Holy shit. And you better believe that I think Joaquin got probably $20 million. He probably got $20 million for his role. I don't know. If like I said, whatever, it could pay off. The movie could be a great follow-up, and it could make $1 billion again or come close and get nominated for all kinds of awards. It could. It's just so crazy to think, like, what, $60 million for the first, $200 million for the second. Man. I mean, hopefully Todd Phillips can really do a lot of shit when it comes to that. But man, that just seems like a hefty price tag for all that. But yeah, if they get Quentin Tarantino's last movie, that's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. And we've already heard that Quentin Tarantino wants Tom Cruise in that movie. Jesus Christ. And then you do a follow-up movie with like Edge of Tomorrow 2. Yeah. Might be some W's that are coming in there. And then, of course, that people are like licking the chops. They're licking their chops of like, okay, if we want to buy this thing or merge with this thing, it's going to look good. Because like I said, they're polishing up the shiny object maybe. I don't know. It's all crazy. It's all business and everything. Disney needs to fix ESPN, yeah. Bernie Sanders, what the hell? Ben. Oh, hey, what's going on, Ben and Droga? Good to see you. And why would Quentin want to make his last movie with the studio that is acting? True. But, yeah, there could be that, too. That's a good question. But he might look at it differently, too. I don't know. What's going on, Strong Arm? Plus, look what happens at Disney. 2 different CEO, different effect. Marvel, yeah. Drogo, yeah. Just looking at what you guys are saying. Disney should buy DC. I mean, that I wouldn't put it past them. And that could possibly happen. You never know. Anyways, let's stop talking about all that. Let's talk about Joe Manganiello. Do I say his name right? I think that's his name, right? But Joe Manganiello, and of course, we got Joe Manganiello and Deathstroke. And we were always kind of wondering, is he going to be returning as Deathstroke? Because we know that he's friends with James Gunn. I think they play Dungeons and Dragons together or something like that, yeah? Or what is it? They play something together, right? I guess they've had they're good friends, essentially. So it was always kind of like up in the air, like what's going to happen when it comes to that? And then, well, is there anything that's going to happen with his Deathstroke movie script, which we've heard about? But he did say something interesting when he interviewed with Chris Killian, and this got people excited. Here, I forgot to pull up the video. I forgot there was actual video of this. Let me pull up the video so we're not just reading quotes. Hold up. Hey. All right, we'll pull up this video right here. Well, no, there's a better video, isn't there? Hold on. Did I retweet it? I don't know. There it is. There's the better video right here. All right, so here's the video right. Here's the interview right here.
Can I hold out hope at all that we might get to see you as Deathstroke in James Gunn's DC universe?
James is my buddy, and James and I had a conversation about it because Jim Lee over at DC Comics wanted me to create a graphic novel series based on the screenplay that I wrote for the Deathstroke origin film that then was part of when they were dismantling the DCEU. That went to the wayside as well, but Jim read it and wanted it to be a graphic novel series, but no one could assure me that if it garnered the attention of directors, producers, that I could definitely be attached So I had to let it go. James Gunn was like, let it go, just let it go.
Let it go, let it go, let it go. Why? I don't want to let it go. I want to see that shit. No, but I think we all kind of realized that, yeah, Manganiello's not coming back, which makes sense. Perfectly fine. I've already accepted that. I didn't think like he would actually come back. Maybe there was a little bit of hope. Sure. And then, of course, we saw those images of Manganiello and Jim Lee together when it came to, you know, they were eating steaks together, and then it's like, okay. So he talks about a graphic novel based on his script that maybe Jim Lee wanted to do, and they just met with each other. Oh my God, it's happening. It's happening. We're getting some Snyderverse books. Sadly, we gotta pump the brakes on that one. As exciting as that sounds, and I want to talk a little bit more about it, but as exciting as that sounds, we actually have Joe Manganiello, who went to Twitter and kind of clarified things when it came to that. So let me find that tweet right here. There it is. So here's his follow-up tweet, because he responded to the very video right there. But here's what he had to say. Cliff notes, Jim and James are my close friends and respected legends in their industries and have always been supportive of me. He put, I love how he put 3 twice. That character was a part of another universe in a movie that was never made. That all happened years ago. We've all moved on. Time to cancel Joe, guys. He's part of the move on crew, or whatever the hell that I've been accused of being when it comes to Snyder fandom. He said move on. So, you better cast him out. He said it. He said that's 2 words that you don't like to say. Move on. So that was like the Cliff Notes. And that's good. I'm glad that he actually did that. I'm glad that he did a follow-up, because obviously it's making a lot of noise right now. But at the same time, the reason why it's making a lot of noise is like Jim Lee, DC Comics, you're leaving some money on the table here. How many times do we have to say it? It's like, if we're not going to get the Snyderverse continued, restored in live action, put it in a fucking book. Put it in a book series. You have Batman 89, Superman 78, put the Snyderverse. You could even have Snyderverse, like in cool, you could design some really cool letters and just have these stories. You can have the Batfleck movie. You can have Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, and any kind of spin-offs that might have been in the works, the Cyborg movie, a different Flash movie, I don't know. You could just have it all in book form. And I think you can make a pretty good killing on that. I think there's money left on the table, because, again, the reason why that people are talking about this and how Joe had to clarify stuff, because it's making the rounds. It's making the rounds. All the posts that I posted on Twitter, on Instagram, people are commenting about it. And it's like, and a lot of people in the Snyder fandom and just in general would just be like, okay, yeah, if we're not going to get the future movies, I would accept it in a book. In a comic book, in a graphic novel. So hopefully they just realize. And I hope, and we can get these books, man. I'm just saying. I mean, it seems like they're just leaving money on the table. They just do a lot with this. And I think eventually they will. I think it's going to happen sometime. Maybe not anytime soon, but I hope it's happening sometime. And we already know Zack did pitch at one point to finish and they turned it down. But that was like a few years ago. It's a different time now. I don't know. It just seems like there's something that could be there. And they definitely should do it. Snyderverse books would be great. But yeah, it's fine. I know Joe wanted to do that. I remember I interviewed Joe on one of the whatchamacallits and the Justice Cons. And, he gave some information about that. He even talked a little bit about Ben Affleck's Batman script, where he was a part of that too. And it's just like, yeah, if you guys go back and find that Justice Con, he talked a little bit about that, But, yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. Oops, not that. Seeing what you guys are talking about. Because everyone's freaking out and everybody wants to make it to be something that it's not. Everybody acts like anyone who had anything to do with Zack is still hung up on this. Yeah, no. I mean, that's the thing. Not even Zack's hung up on this. It's just like everybody's doing other things and everything like that. I hope Dune replaces Kang. Yeah, we'll get to that right now. Easy money companies are missing out. Yeah, I know. I have a feeling, though, it's coming. I just have a feeling that they're going to be like, all right, let's make those books. Incoming cinema. That's right, guys. Dune Part 2. This just shows you right here. They didn't release the reviews, and the embargo lift when it came to the reviews of Dune Part 2 didn't happen the week of the movie. I mean, it's coming out next week. Cannot wait. Going to watch it on the biggest screen possible. But they knew that everybody's just going to be raving about this movie. And apparently, pre-sales are doing pretty well when it comes to Dune. So I'm hoping that since we get in Dune Part 2, and I can't wait this weekend. I'm going to watch Dune again. I haven't watched it in a bit, so I'm going to rewatch it this weekend and prepare for next week. Cannot wait. Very excited. But yeah, when it comes to the pre-sales, it's looking pretty good. And hopefully, I hope it ends up being like a bigger box office stream. I mean, obviously, when it came to the first Dune Part 1, that was during the pandemic and stuff like that. But let's go over some of the reviews on, of course, the Devil Fruit site. Certified fresh already, 97%, 113 reviews. Can't complain about that. So at least there's all that. And look at all these. Look at all those fresh tomatoes. You know, I mean, after reading the reviews from Adam Webb, wow, this is going to be refreshing. Juicy tomatoes right here. All right, let's see. Let's just read a few of them right here. Blockbuster and IP filmmaking at its finest. Dune Part 2 rocks a script that doesn't shy away from character complexities and does a shockingly solid job of reacquainting viewers with the Dune chessboard while adding more pieces to it. Heavy with spectacle and theme as it is, Part 2 is often surprisingly nimble. As a filmmaker, Villeneuve has long had trouble balancing plot with picture, but here he almost gets the calibration exactly right. Villeneuve's great talent lies, I think, in invocation. He may be less perfect when he comes to conclusions, but he's brilliant at summoning a sense of doom, a suddenly appeared spacecraft, a sandworm. A spectacular feat of science fiction filmmaking marrying immersive world building with engrossing storytelling. Let's see. We'll get some more here. As blockbuster movies go, Dune Part 2 is a thrilling ride that totally earns its 2.5-hour running time. The filmmakers add much needed heft and their display of virtuoso filmmaking by adding serious real life themes. Though visually a knockout, Denis Villeneuve's second installment repeatedly sheds momentum, something no 166-minute epic can afford to lose. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. I got a little tingle in my jingle reading some of those right there. But yeah, it just seems like there are people out there, especially when I saw internet reactions, that people were basically saying that, yes, it's better than the first one, which it's supposed to be. I mean, obviously, you want the sequel to be better than the first one. If you've read the book and you know that it's like half the book, it's setting up. It was setting up the first one. So, yeah, it drags a little bit. It's a little slow, even though there was one scene in the first Dune that got removed that I read. I remember reading in the book and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see this scene live action. And they didn't have the scene in there, but that's what's going to happen. But the next one was always going to be about war. It's just going to be about it's going to be about a lot of war that's going to be happening. So I can't wait. There you go. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be so good. So freaking good. But guess what's not good? Kang Dynasty. Oh, man. Yeah, like I said, the retooling. That's right. We're getting the MCU retooled, which it's been retooling for how long now? But I would say the biggest thing that was being thrown around today was the fact that, yes, and we already knew this, and it's no surprise, that Kang Dynasty, it's not going to be the Kang Dynasty anymore. We could just rule Kang out, obviously, with the things that happened with Jonathan Majors. It has been done. And you know what? He had his time. He was the baddie in Ant-Man in the Quantum Mania, which a lot of people didn't like. I didn't really like it. Loki, he was great. And to be honest, I was like, okay, that served the purpose in Loki. Do we need more of that? No, we don't. I don't think we do. Even though they showed all the Kangs, at the end of Ant-Man. Well, who cares? Who gives a shit? We don't need that anymore. We just don't need that. We don't need that. But yeah, here's a new article from The Hollywood Reporter. How Marvel is quietly retooling amid superhero fatigue. There's that term right there. The studio's golden box office era has been dented, but chief architect Kevin Feige isn't scrapping his years-long cinematic universe plan, just refining it. They're not going to give up, says an insider. Just over a year ago, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was set to take Marvel Studios to the next level. A new villain was going to be introduced, setting the stage for several years' worth of storytelling. And the movie itself was a giant sizing of a franchise that was previously modest in scope. And then, of course, there's all the PR nightmares and all this stuff. I'm not going to go over everything. But the Disney division is the midst of a pretty darn good February, all things considered, despite the general gloom and surrounds the superhero genre. Talking about, of course, what's going to save it? Well, obviously Deadpool and Wolverine, that is expected to do some good numbers, especially after what happened with the Marvels. My God. Okay. And then, of course, next came, talking about Fantastic Four and how they're doing all that and the way that they're doing. Yeah, Fantastic Four definitely needs to be a win for them as well. And hopefully it is the fact that it's going to be in the 60s and people are excited about it. And then, of course, they talk about X-Men 97, which a lot of people are excited about too. They do talk about Agatha, Darkhold Diaries, which I still don't even know. Does that even still need to be a thing? I don't know. There's a lot of reshoots that happen with that. And then they said right here, the studio also quietly hired Eric Pearson to polish the script for Fantastic Four, which will start shooting, of course, in London in the summer. And guess what? Yeah, Mr. Pearson worked on Thor Ragnarok and Black Widow. Oh, sweet. All right, that's perfectly fine. And then, no, it's not. But, and then, of course, they're quietly searching for characters that are going to stand out like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. Marvel also hired Joanna Kahlo, the showrunner of the acclaimed series The Bear, which I still haven't watched yet. I hear it's good, to work on the script for Thunderbolts. So they're still even trying to work out the kinks when it comes to that. So hopefully that's going to be, again, I don't think that's going to make its date either. Both Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, I don't think are going to make their release dates that they have right now. Marvel is also cleaning up the creative mess left in the wake of Jonathan Majors, the once rising actor cast to play the villain, of course. Avengers, then was found guilty, blah, 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 blah. Hours after that, the first of the new Avengers movies due in 2026 was initially titled Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, but will be getting a new title to remove the character's name. Those sources say that even before Major's conviction, the studio was making moves to minimize the character after Quantumania underperformed. Ugh. Just a mess. Just a big, huge mess. And then, of course, it talks about a lot of the other stuff, the TV side. And they're really just, being awakened by hey, why are we putting so much money in all this kind of stuff? Some of our studios lost a little focus. Of course, Bob Iger said, and talking about releasing less stuff. As the Hollywood strikes ended in November, the studio delayed Captain America. Yeah, they had all that. But where is it? Oh, yeah, they're still talking about things right here. Dual writers, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even seeing where the Blade stuff is. It's somewhere in there. But they said that Blade might be delayed again to 2025. Again, it was announced in 2019. This would be 6 years later. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's just Blade is never coming out. I'm surprised that Mahershala Ali is still part of it. I remember there was rumors, some scoopers, whatever, were saying that he's walking. He's not going to be a part of anyone. But it's just crazy that still they just can't seem to get that movie out there. I would be more excited. I was more excited for a new Blade movie than Kang Dynasty, to be honest. It's just such a mess. But yeah, there you go. That's what's happening on the Marvel side of things right there. Just all a mess. They're trying to keep that status up. Less is more, I guess. Yep, that's not the right one. But yeah, Kang, I mean, Kang was fine. It was fine that he was a fine character for a little bit, but for being the next big baddie, it just wasn't going to happen. Wasn't going to happen. And Miss Lisa Jackson, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. You were awesome. Dave, it took The Flash 10 years. You're right. You're right. Oh, you just retracted your thing. Yeah, I know. It did take forever, too. That's a thing. I know. It did take forever. It did take forever that, for the Flash script as well. So hopefully the fact that it's taking a little bit, they're going to have like a really perfect script. I think that if that's what you were trying to say right there, is the fact that it's like, okay, if it's taking this long, they're making sure that they have the most perfect script. It's just like getting to the point of like, geez, man, can it happen already? Yeah, of course they have Daredevil coming out too, so. All right, let's get some Twitter questions right here. Thank you guys, of course, for spending some time. We'll, of course, do a members-only stream after this. So if you want to become part of the family, be part of the family and, talk a little bit more about some of this stuff. We'll do this in a little bit. All right, here we go. Mr. Brad Caron. Oh, let's see. What was your first thing right here? What are your thoughts on the new rumor that emerged the other day that WB might be considering an IMAX run for Zack Snyder Justice League releasing? Well, I already talked about that. But yeah, hopefully it's the case. It'll be very limited, though. There's no way that they would do like multiple. They would probably just be in LA and New York. Also, I have to say, I'm getting a little concerned. It's getting a little concerning that no one from the Batman 2 script yet 2 years after the first movie came out, especially with I know. I'm worried about that too. Because even what's his name said that he still hasn't read a script. So, Eric, I'd say I'm not a rich CEO with lots of experience like Zaslav, but seriously, with WBD so deep in financial problems, wouldn't have been smarter to wait on the big, expensive rebooted universe and focus on the fun Elseworld stuff? Batman, yeah, that would have been. I think that would have been smarter too, to be honest. If they would have just like ended the DCEU stuff, but put into motion Batman Beyond and a Constantine 2, that probably would have been, but they're not thinking like that. They just wanted the new universe and get that going as soon as possible. It's always like time. I mean, give folks cool stuff fans are calling for, make money from that, and then with enough time has passed, fan anger over the reboot. Yeah. You know what? I agree with you. Yeah, they should have done something like that. Yeah, they should have brought Keaton back for Batman Beyond. Even though I liked him in The Flash and liked the story that they had in there, it would have been probably smarter to do Batman Beyond instead. Devon Wooter, Dave, do you think Stephen Amell have a beef with James Gunn? And he might just, I don't know, maybe he does. And you think James Gunn will set up each characters and set up a Justice League movie with the rosters he got to pick? And do you think James Gunn will give Shazam and Aquaman a chance? We'll see. I think, yeah, he's going to probably set things up for a Justice League movie eventually, but I don't think that's going to be on the table right away. Ryan, happy Wednesday, Dave. Happy Wednesday, Ryan. 2 recommendations for you. True Detective, Season 4 on Max. That's right. I still have to watch the previous True Detectives. I didn't really like the Colin Farrell, Vince Vaughn one. I love the first one, though, with Woody and what's his name? Totally blanking. And McConaughey, of course. And Blackbird on Apple Plus. I've heard Blackbird is good, which is probably one of the Taron Egerton's best performances. Yeah, I'll have to check those out. Mr. Nobody, hey Dave, don't think WBD is going to sell because every time Warner Brothers was sold, the cost kept decreasing. I think Zaslav will try to increase the value of the DC IP, hopefully with the help of Gunn, and only after that he would sell it. But the question is who could afford it? Yeah, but you also got to think merge. There's also merge. Darkness on the Wind. Dave, question number 1. Would Zaslav get removed from CEO position of Warner Brothers if it does get sold? Yeah, I would think so. Question number 2. Safe to say that the Snyderverse continuing in comics, we get the Flashpoint story Zack originally intended. Yes, that's what I'm talking about right there. Do some stuff like that. But pretty sweet. Neven. You wake up and have Elon Musk and Saudi prince kind of money and can buy WB yourself. What's your first order of business? Well, first order of business is basically try to very much sway Quentin Tarantino to make his last movie. With Warner Brothers. Give him all the bells and whistles and everything like that. Yeah. If I had all that money and I bought that, that would be the first thing I would do. Okay? I would be like trying to get Quentin Tarantino, try to get Christopher Nolan back. Maybe that too. Yeah. You know? I know, like, you know, a lot of people, of course, in the fandom would immediately be like, get rid of James Gunn, bring back Zack. I'm like, nope. Leave Zack where he is. James Gunn's already well into almost creating this thing. Let's see where that goes. And Zack is creating his own universe. So yeah, I wouldn't do that. Sorry. You know, sorry. I guess you're going to be called part of the Move On crew again. No, I would not do that. But I would definitely, you know, also try to convince Jim Lee to create those books, and then if those books do well, guess what? We can make animated features. Okay, and then hey, maybe one of those animated features would be a goddamn Batman Beyond movie. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know. All right, guys, that's about it. Appreciate you guys spending some time with me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, share, like, do all that. Members, I'll see you guys in a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more about the stuff, so look for it on your members-only feed. And everybody else, follow me on all the sock meds and all that stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're doing DC Fanimated, World's Finest Part 2. So tune into that if you want to do that. Other than that, I'll see you guys on Friday for, of course, the Vodka stream. And we'll get a group in here, maybe a guest. We'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, love ya. Members, see you in a little bit. Everybody else, talk to you later.